week 32. It is December 7th. Happy December. We are officially in the last month of 2024. It's wild to think how fast it's been. I started these back in, was it February, March? I think it was actually April. I don't remember. But here I am, 32 weeks in. Yeah, feels pretty cool. So, what has been going on this week? Sorry, I blacked out there for a minute. It's been that kind of week. When we get done to occupational, we'll talk about that. So socially, what has socially been this week? This has been a crazy week. I feel it is longer than all the other weeks because of how much that has happened. So Sunday, I don't know, I had this weird feeling. I went out to eat with friends. We had no plans to do it on Sunday, but we did it anyway. Just nice basic thing. We went out to this vegetarian restaurant. That's been kind of our thing recently, and it was really good. Everything was great. I went back to work. I just did a little break. My friend texted me and said, hey, I am going out to a comedy show tonight. Do you want to go with me? My other friend who went with us, Clint, couldn't go because he had to work, but I was already home. And there was this feeling just inside of me where I just kept telling myself, first off, I wanted to be more spontaneous. I wanted to try new things. And I don't know, I just got this really weird feeling telling myself that if I don't go to this, I could be missing a really important opportunity. So I just decided I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna go. So I did, and it was crazy. It was one of our old friends. That's who we were actually going to go see. He was in town from New York, so we thought it was just a good idea. Or she wanted to go see him. So I went for that reason. He was the host, but the actual person who was the main event was Ron Funches. And it was so crazy because I used to be a big fan of this comedy troupe. And back in the day, they used to do these little tiny chat, chat things. And I used to do that all the time as a kid. And one of the guys who would constantly do it was a person who I got really close with. And the way I learned about Ron was through him. So seeing him for the first time, after watching since COVID, his podcast, and just seeing all these things about him and kind of learning about his life through that, seeing him live when I didn't even know he was in town was really, really cool. It was so nice to just do something like this, not only just out of nowhere, but, do something with a chance that I had no idea what was going to happen. So great to finally do that. I think that's really it for social. Just kind of being able to talk to people is really nice. Occupational wise, I have been working every day this week. Today was a little different because it wasn't really work. I volunteered, which I'll talk about in a moment. But yeah, work-wise, I've just been kind of at my job. I taught this week over a couple days. And it just made me realize, I emailed my the KIPS coordinator who I've been, working with. And I just told her how much I missed teaching from being there that day. So I asked her if there was any teaching things to do right now. She said no. I think it was a good thing she said no because of kind of everything that's going on in my life right now. But I will have a couple tutoring sessions to do. So it'll be nice to get a little taste of what I miss. Physically, still, I've not been great physically. I think I did one day of yoga this week. I have done lifting twice. So not as great, but I thankfully have the eating that I was doing previously. I think it was just this I don't know, just this weird moment of just eating more than I should, or more than I have. But I looked it up to see what is the reason. I knew it was because I was being so restrictive with everything. I've decided to kind of pull back on that. I'm still doing the same calorie count, but yeah, not being as crazy about like, you can only eat this at this hour, you can only fast at this hour. I'm kind of being a little bit more lenient on my hours now, and they've been good, and I've been able to kind of curb my eating. So, and I've lost, before I was losing like 2 pounds a week, I lost like 0.4. So I'm, before I would be upset about it, but I'm fine right now. Environment wise, I've been doing a little bit more cleaning around the house, just because I'm tired of, like, everything just feels like clutter right now. So kind of fixing that. I think I'm just really excited for the new year, so I'm kind of fixing my life around it. Intellectual wise, I finished one of my classes, started 2 more. So thankfully I'm almost done. I have about 3 weeks of school left. Well, 3 weeks before the end of the year. My last part of this semester is actually the 29th. I want to have everything done before that time, but I've thankfully finished with that class. I finished all the assignments for, one of the classes out of the 2. I just got to finish the other. So hopefully I can get all that done within this week. Then I'll have 1 class left. And then I'll have all this time to be able to get all of it done. So that's intellectual wise. ASU classes, 1 class is opened. It's just orientation. So hopefully getting that done. I'm holding out a little bit. They said it's open for, this short period of time. So planning on starting it. I looked at it yesterday. I didn't actually start anything. I should start tonight. I'm saying this now so that I can remember that. Financial wise, I am working on getting accounts, more structured than what they were. I was using, 1 bank, 1, credit union, 1 thing for savings, and then another thing Cash App for all these purchases. I'm tired of doing that because it's just too all over the place. So I've opened a new account that I want to use as my primary checking, and I'm connecting everything right now. I did all that yesterday. I'm waiting on one of the accounts to be, verified. So hopefully I'll have that all figured out before January. If not, then, I'll have that first week to kind of get it all in play, especially when it comes to school, because I have to have loans for the program. And yeah, with these jobs starting, I've set out this spreadsheet where I can have, I want to pay off hopefully everything from my last degree by June of next year. If not, then at least by December of next year. I want all that paid off so that by the time, I do hit my summer semester or fall of next year for that, school year, I want to be able to have just a clean slate, and that's the only thing I'm thinking about. Emotional wise, this week I've been very optimistic, way more than normal, just because I think I am finally, I don't know, I feel like this week has been a really good discovery week, just because I am actually focusing on what I want. I have said it before, and I've said it 1,000 times. I have used my weight as kind of a shield or a jail in figuring out who I am as a person. And I've never known, really, well, maybe I've known deep down, but I've never actually evaluated what is important to me. What are the traits that I want to have in my life? What are things that I admire in other people? What are the hobbies that I want? What do I like? So I think I found the traits that I find important in myself. I find courage really important. I find, compassion really important. I want, drive, determination. Those sorts of things are really, really important to me. So now that I've kind of set them up to 4 different things, that's the way I want to live my life. I want to push those things in my life every day. So I really, really hope to really solidify those in myself. And also, I don't know, I think I want to use those as my first, just because if I do other things, like overwhelm myself with being like, okay, well, I have that, but I also need to work on like my image. What do I want? Like, what kind of clothes do I want to wear? What kind of hair do I want to have? What kind of face makeup do I want to wear makeup every day? What are the things I carry with me? What kind of shoes do I like? All of those things just seem like too much, especially with, school starting. And well, I'm still in school, but again, just adding those extra things into my life just feel like too much. So I'm holding off there. Then spiritual wise, where am I? I just brought up that, I internally feel like I'm kind of grounding myself in a way that I understand myself better. Spiritual wise, I feel like the volunteer thing kind of helps with that. I was able to do that today I volunteered for 3 hours, and it just felt nice to be able to be putting my time towards something that I'm giving back to people. So I have another one scheduled for 2 weeks from now, so I should be able to do that. I also have an orientation for another opportunity on the 11th. So yeah, sorry, I'm messing with my zipper. Yeah, this week just kind of feels like, I feel like a lot is happening. It's an extra long week, but I feel like good things are happening. I want to keep the momentum up on these. I want to stick with the educational stuff that I'm doing. I also want to start, and what I have been trying to do is work on, better self-talk. I've learned the sentence malignant, or the trait malignant shame recently. And I'm trying to find ways to kind of avoid that in my life and stop looking at things so negatively internally. Trying to speak the same way I do about people externally as the same, using that speech that I talk to people externally, internally. So that's really the goal now. That's been this week. That's about it. I'm not sure what next week holds, but I'll let myself know then.